Hello everybody, welcome to Candidates Corner. This is Greater Seattle Korean Association's interview with candidates, just so you can get to know them. And today we're very pleased to have ViVian Song here. Welcome, ViVian.
Thank you.
ViVian was formerly Seattle School Board Director, and she's running again for Seattle School Board Director for position 5. So she's just here to just share a little bit about her priorities for Seattle schools. So ViVian, I'll just ask you if you could just tell us a little bit about your background and your roots, and also when you first ran, why did you decide to run, and why did you kind of decide to run again? And finally, if elected, what are some of your kind of top priorities for Seattle schools?
Great,
yeah.
thank you.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm ViVian Song, and I am running for Seattle School Board in District 5. That is the neighborhoods from Montt Lake to the Central District, Leschi to East Lake. To share a little bit about my background, I am a daughter of immigrants from Taiwan and Brazil. I was born and raised in Ohio, and actually started my education as an English as a second language student. We call that multilingual learner. And I actually, it was my elementary school, public school teacher that identified my hearing disability. And I am so grateful for the incredible work and dedication and commitment of my public school teachers. That's the reason where I am today. And so I have spent the last 25 years giving back to community by doing volunteer work with kids and immigrant communities. I am a graduate of Harvard College. I majored in economics. I worked in investment banking and technology. Then I went to get my master's in business administration from Harvard Business School. And I moved to Seattle in 2019. I am a mother of 4 kids. And I had 2 kids who were in Seattle public schools and 2 kids who were in preschool during the COVID-19 pandemic. And I was watching what was happening, all the pressure that our teachers were under trying to do remote school, the struggles of my own kids, but also kids throughout the community. And I realized that this was an opportunity to take my service work to the next level. And that's what prompted me to run in 2021. Certainly an issue back then was the school district was struggling financially, and I felt that there was a good opportunity to use my professional financial skills to support the school district. So why am I running again? That is an important question. So in April, the superintendent of Seattle Public Schools announced that he would be resigning, and a lot of community members actually came to me and said, this district is going to go through a tremendous leadership change. We need to hire a new superintendent, 4 school board seats are up, and we know what your leadership looks like, and we would like you to run. And so with the support of a lot of parents, educators, and community-based organizations, I decided to run again. And I'm very pleased to share with you that I did win my primary with 74% of the vote. So I'm so grateful for the support of the voters in District 5. And as I move on to a citywide election, I hope to earn the votes citywide as well. In terms of my 3 priorities, certainly 1, we need to put this district on a path to long-term financial stability. So what has been happening certainly in the last 5 years is that the district has been pursuing sort of one-time Band-Aid solutions, and very, very painfully last fall, one of the solutions that they wanted to pursue was closing 21 elementary schools. I actually have interviewed district leaders from school districts outside of Washington State that were put in a terrible position of having to close schools to get their advice. And what they told me is that it is incredibly destabilizing for students from an academic perspective, from a social emotional perspective. It really disrupts communities, and quite frankly, it doesn't save money. It is really something that we kind of pursue as absolute last resort. So I was really shocked that the district wanted to pursue this strategy. I think what we need to be doing is examining what are other ways that we can address our budget challenges without having direct impact to the classroom experience for our students. I know from my previous experience in 2021, there are opportunities, for example, in looking at efficiencies with bus transportation, That is something that I would certainly like to examine if I'm re-elected. But we absolutely need to make sure that we are putting the district on a path to long-term financial stability so that students and educators and families have the predictability that they deserve so that they can have the best education possible for our kids. My second priority is that I really want us to set a vision, a long-term vision for this district for a diverse portfolio of schools and programs that meet the diverse needs of our diverse student population. So what I'm talking about is programs that we have, supporting programs that we already have, such as language immersion. As I mentioned before, I started my education as an English as a second language learner. We know these programs are very, very effective in helping our new arrival students getting kind of established in their education and becoming strong students. Highly capable programs. I knocked on 2,500 doors in my district, and actually a lot of our neighbors who don't even have kids in the district or have kids that have long graduated were really disappointed to learn that the highly capable program has been disrupted. There's a real call for academic rigor, and we need to make sure that those opportunities exist in our schools. So we need to set a diverse portfolio to meet all the different student needs that I see in our community, but I also think that that's going to have a second benefit of helping our district achieve financial stability, because we have experienced enrollment decline in the last couple of years. And in Washington State, and like many school districts across the country, how school funding works is that you get funding on a per student basis. So when we lose students, we actually lose funding. I believe that this district needs to make a plan to grow enrollment, because that not only will help us financially, but I think it's really important for as many people to participate in public education from a moral perspective and for the long-term viability of our democracy. And my third priority is that we need to prioritize student well-being. We need to make investments in mental health. I think our kids coming out of the COVID-19 pandemic have really struggled. And so we need to make investments in counselors, programs that support our students. I think we also have experienced some gun safety issues in our school district. When I was on the board, there was a shooting at Ingram High School, and it is that kind of experience just really never leaves you. And after that experience, I have worked very closely with community organizations to try to advocate for better gun safety in our community, and I will continue to do that work if elected to the school board, and hopefully work more directly with schools in supporting our students. We really need to prioritize their mental health and their physical safety. Otherwise, they're not going to be in a strong position to be learning. So those are my three priorities if I'm elected to the Seattle School Board.
All right, thank you very much, ViVian, for your thoughts today. And thank you, viewers, for tuning in to Candidates Corner. Again, this is ViVian Song for School Board Director, Seattle School District, Position 5. So thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.
감사합니다.